Okay, dear, so you want to know how that person is actually feeling about you right now? Good, because I'm going to tell you. We're doing a mix today. Some message cards, some tarot, so we can really get the full picture instead of just half of it. I'm Emma, and before we dive in, let me know in the comments how this lands for you, okay? If it resonates, drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you're new here. Honestly, I feel like this reading only finds the people it's meant for. So if you're sitting here watching this right now, dear, I think that's you. This is a longer, deeper pull today, 7 cards instead of the usual handful, because I really want to walk through every layer of what's happening on their end. So get comfortable, grab your tea, and let's take our time with this one. Let me get these cards ready. Okay, let's see what comes up. Opening pull. Wow, okay, look at that. We got a nice little cluster out in one go. I love it when that happens. It usually means there's a lot to unpack. And interestingly, the number sitting behind this pull feels like it's about stability and structure, foundations, something solid. That already tells me something important before we even flip the first card properly. Whatever this person feels for you, it's not shaky or uncertain. There's a groundedness underneath it, even if their actions haven't fully caught up to that feeling yet. Okay, let's go card by card, and I promise, we're going to sit with each one properly today. Card 1. Stable. Safe. The one they trust most. Okay, this card is beautiful. I'm sensing real Empress energy here, nurturing, warm, abundant. And what it's telling me is that this person genuinely sees you as the most stable, secure presence they've come across in a long time. I mean that quite literally, dear. Not just nice to be around. I'm talking about a level of trust where they feel like they could bring you their mess, their bad days, their complicated feelings, and you'd still meet them with patience. That doesn't mean you should be a doormat for that, okay? That's a separate conversation. But energetically, that's how safe you feel to them. There's also a real emotional openness paired with this. I'm picking up that they see you as thoughtful, spiritually aware, maybe even the smartest, most emotionally mature person in their life right now. They genuinely admire you, more than they've probably said out loud. And funny enough, I keep noticing this number 4 theme running through the whole pull. 4 cards landed together. The imagery keeps showing seated figures, thrones, stable shapes. Even my clock just did something with a 4 in it. I'm telling you, this number is following the reading today. Structure, stability, that's the theme. I want to sit with this a little longer, because I think it's easy to hear they see you as stable, and quietly wonder if that just means boring, or safe in a forgettable way. That's not what this is. Stability in this context is actually rare to them. A lot of people they've dealt with before have been unpredictable, inconsistent, hard to read. You being steady isn't a small thing to them, dear. It's actually one of the rarest qualities they've come across. It's part of why they keep coming back to thinking about you, even during the times they've gone quiet. Card 2. I don't know who I am right now. Okay, this one shifts the energy a bit. This card is showing me a real identity crisis on their end. Have you felt like they're a little lost lately? Restless, overwhelmed, maybe pulling away from commitment or responsibility, almost like they want to just be free and unattached for a while? That's not really about you, dear. This is an internal thing they're working through, not knowing quite who they are anymore, feeling stretched between who they used to be and who they're becoming. Some of you have probably already heard some version of this from them. Even indirectly, something like, I just don't really know myself right now. And I think that's exactly why things might feel a little inconsistent or slow-moving from their side. It's not indifference. It's more like they're mid-renovation internally, and they don't want to bring you into a house that's still got exposed wiring, so to speak. I want to add a little more here, because I think this card carries some compassion for them too, if you're open to it. A lot of us go through seasons like this, where the person we thought we were doesn't quite fit anymore, and we haven't figured out who's replacing them yet. It's uncomfortable to sit in that in-between space. and some people handle it by pulling inward instead of reaching out. I don't think that reflects poorly on you at all. I think it just means they're dealing with something that has nothing to do with how they feel about you, and everything to do with how they feel about themselves. Card 3. I need time to figure myself out. This card follows really naturally from the last one. There's a real Ace of Swords energy here. Clarity, truth, mental sharpness. And what it's telling me is that they genuinely want to figure themselves out before they show up fully for you. And here's something sweet buried in this card. I think part of what's motivating that search is you. They look at you and see someone who seems to already know who they are, what they want, how they carry themselves. And it's inspiring them, even if it also stirs up a little insecurity, to want that same clarity for themselves. So if it feels like they're taking their time, distracted, a little inconsistent, I don't think it's about lacking interest. I think it's about wanting to arrive as a more complete version of themselves before they really try. They want an answer to, who am I? Not just for their own sake, but because they want to be someone worth building something with, alongside you. I do want to gently mention something here too, because I think it's an important balance. Wanting time to figure yourself out is healthy and real, and I respect that in this card. But I also don't want you sitting around indefinitely waiting on someone else's timeline without living your own life in the meantime. This card isn't telling you to pause your whole world for them. It's just explaining why they haven't fully shown up yet. Two very different things. Card 4. Watching you from a distance. This next card is giving me some social media energy, honestly. I'm sensing some quiet activity here. Maybe a like on a photo, lingering on your stories a little longer than usual, that kind of subtle interest. I think there's admiration happening here that they haven't fully acted on yet. They're watching, quietly, maybe testing the waters a little to see if you'd even be open to them reaching out properly. Nothing forceful, nothing dramatic, just a soft, careful kind of watching. And I do think a message is coming, even if it takes a little while to arrive. A check-in, a random text, something that seems casual on the surface, but actually took them a while to work up to sending. I want to add one more layer to this card, because I think it explains a pattern some of you may have noticed. This kind of quiet watching often comes in waves. Active for a few days, then quiet for a stretch, then active again. That rhythm isn't them losing interest and coming back. It's more like them checking in with themselves each time before checking in with you, making sure they're actually ready before they reach out again. Card 5. I want to surprise you. This one's sweet. I'm sensing that they've actually thought about surprising you. Something sentimental, something that shows they've been paying attention to what you like. Not a grand gesture necessarily, just something thoughtful. But I also feel like they're holding back on that for now, because they want the communication between you two to feel stronger first. They don't want to show up with a gesture before there's a foundation of trust and comfort to place it on. So this is coming, dear, just maybe not immediately. They want it to land right, not just early. I think this also tells us something about how they operate in general. This isn't someone who does grand gestures carelessly or performatively. They seem to genuinely want whatever they eventually do for you to actually mean something, to land the way they intend it to, rather than just being a quick move to get your attention. That patience, even if it's frustrating to sit with right now, actually speaks well of their intentions. Card 6. I'm scared I'm not enough for you. Okay, this card came through a little more vulnerable than I expected, so I want to slow down here. Underneath everything we've talked about so far, there's a quieter fear sitting with them. A worry that once they do show up fully, once the mystery wears off, you might realize they're not quite what you were hoping for. This isn't about anything you've done, dear. This is entirely their own insecurity talking. Sometimes the people who seem the most confident on the surface are the ones carrying the heaviest doubts underneath. And I think that's exactly what's happening here. I think this fear is actually a big part of why they're taking their time before fully committing to anything with you. It's not just about finding themselves in some abstract way. It's specifically tied to wanting to feel worthy of what they sense you could offer. So if there's ever a moment where they seem to pull back right when things are going well, this is probably why. Not because it's going badly, because it's going well enough that it scares them a little. Card 7. They want to be ready for you. Okay, last card. And I really like where this one lands us. There's a real Wheel of Fortune, expansive kind of energy here. Supportive, encouraging. This isn't a card about obstacles. It's a card about momentum building in the right direction. I think this person genuinely wants to become a better, steadier version of themselves. Not for anyone else, but because being around your energy raised a bar in them they want to actually meet. They don't want to show up half-formed next to someone who already feels whole. So the timeline here really is about them catching up to themselves, not about them not caring. And once they do get there, once that identity crisis settles, once they feel more like themselves again, once that fear from the last card quiets down, I think you'll see real, consistent effort. Messages turning into real conversations turning into real plans. It just needs a little more time to unfold naturally. I also want to say, dear, that none of this requires you to do anything differently. You don't need to chase, prove, or convince. This whole reading has been about their internal process, not about anything missing on your end. Closing message. So bringing all 7 of these together, dear, they see you as their safest, most stable person. They're working through a real identity shift right now. They need time to find themselves before they show up fully. They've been quietly watching and admiring you. They're holding on to a sweet gesture for the right moment. There's a quiet fear underneath all of it about being enough for you. And underneath everything, they genuinely want to become someone ready to build something real with you. This isn't about you doing anything differently, okay? You've already inspired more in them than you probably realize. If this reading resonated, let me know down in the comments. Drop a heart if you felt like this was speaking directly to your situation. It really helps me know these readings are reaching the right people. If you want a personal reading looking at your specific situation, I do have that option available. Links always in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel further, the membership option is down there too. I do a little blessing over the member list every single week. I'm Emma, sending you so much love and so much patience while things unfold exactly the way they're meant to. Until next time, take care of that beautiful heart of yours. Bye, dear.